I came across these principles I'm going to be teaching today about 6 years ago. I went back to school because I hated my life. I was working in a variety store. I was making about $5.35 an hour when you figured it out salary-wise, because you work 80 hours a week for 40 hours pay. I'm working my life away. And I went in, within 2 weeks of figuring out how much I was making and how much effort I was putting in, I went in and I just gave my notice. I didn't have another job. And I was a single parent. But I knew I had to change. You know what? That forced it. I said, 2 months, I'm going to have to find something else. I did. There's always something out there. If you're willing to put yourself out there, you're going to find something. I'm smart. I know how to talk. I mean, it's not like I couldn't find another job, but I was stuck in that one because of fear. We talked about fear a lot today. You get comfortable. I had really good benefits. I had a 401k that was being matched. I had great health care. And so I stayed in a job that was a dead end. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Best thing I ever did to walk away from that job. As soon as I walked away from that job, I said, okay, got to go back to school. So I started figuring out, what do I want to be? What do I want to do? I said, man, I already try to motivate people all the time to be better, and I love personal training and working out in the gym and encouraging people to be more successful. I'm going to go back to school and get my personal training degree. Little did I know that when I got to school to get my personal training degree, I was going to be stuck in a class called Principles of Successful Living. And I'm looking at that going, well, that's going to be an easy A. Seriously, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, that's going to be an easy A. Wow, I'll just go in there and I'll just take notes and everything's going to be great. And that class changed my life, because it's everything we're talking about today. And I'd seen it before. I'd read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, like when I was 22. Boom, right over my head. Didn't even grasp it. It was a great book. I didn't take it to heart. I was too young. I was naive. Seriously. So I go to this class, Principles on Successful Living, and I start learning that we can change our future by the way we think and the way we feed our subconscious. I'm going to use this word over and over again today, inner self. That's your subconscious. That's the real you inside. That's the real you. The one that I'm looking at here, that's not you. There's a you inside you that is way more powerful than what I'm looking at right now. Way more powerful. Get a handle on that. This outside external is our body. The inside is the real us. And every single one of you has a real you inside. It's either vibrant and healthy, or it's really sick. Control the gateway. The gateway is how you get into the real you. The gateway is your mind. The mind is your filter. Think of your mind as the filter on, let's say, your sink. It gets all the yucky stuff and filters it out. It lets the stuff that's flowing go through, okay? Your mind is your filter. Whatever gets into your subconscious has to go through your mind. You have the ability to keep it from going in or out. You control it, because we have free will. We have free will. There's 3 atmospheres of the mind. When you walk through your day, you're going to either be in a free flow of powerful, effectual thought patterns that are purposeful and dynamic. That's your first atmosphere. Or you're going to be in a negative emotions of fear, unbelief, hopelessness, and despair, or anger and resentment. We've all been there. How many of you have experienced the negative emotions of fear, unbelief, hopelessness, anger, and resentment? Come on, raise your hands. Every single person in this room has been in that negative gateway, right? Now, the third one, paralysis, procrastination, and inability to focus. You're paralyzed. You can either go forward or back. You're just stuck. Every one of us has been there too. Every person in this room is going to flow back and forth between these 3 atmospheres all day long. So, how can we stay in number 1? I don't want to be in 2 or 3. That's not good. How can we stay in number 1? That's what we're going to talk about. And I'm not used to using this, so if I'm kind of stumbling around, just kind of bear with me. We're going to do a little exercise here. I want everybody to kind of just roll with me. Everybody's relaxed. We all feel at home. We've all kind of talked to each other, and they're at lunch and feel pretty close-knit right now. We're getting closer. So I'm going to have everyone close your eyes. Everybody in the room, close your eyes. We're going to make these emotions, we're going to make these thoughts real. Imagine the character of fear. I want you guys to think about the scariest character you've ever seen in your entire life. The ugliest, seediest, horriblest thing that you can imagine. Picture it right now. And then picture a big brass gate. This big brass gate is your gateway. This is the gateway to your mind and your subconscious. And this seedy character is just slinking around outside the gate trying to find a way in. This seedy character is just the personification of fear. Now, he can't get in. He can't find a way in. So he morphs into a snake or into a toad. It's whatever you want. And he sneaks under the gate. Now he's in. Right behind him comes 3 more, even uglier than him. Those are called despair, hopelessness, and any other kind of negative emotion you want to think about. There's 3 more that sneak in right behind him. They're in. They got in. All right, they're in there. They're now in your mind. They're in your subconscious. They're in there. Keep your eyes closed. Erase that picture. And now, we're going to do number 1. We're going to bring in some positive people. Think of the most beautiful, amazing characters that you've ever seen in your life. Golden-haired, beautiful physique, beautiful body. They carry themselves with confidence. They stand up straight, and they come up to the gate. Now, these are abundance and hope and everything good that you can think about in life. These are the good guys. And they walk up to the gate, and guess what they do? They don't slink under. They open the gate, and they walk in with their heads held high. And you feel this feeling of elation. Wow, these people are coming to live with me. Yay, they're so cool. And they're so beautiful, and they're so powerful. Those are the good guys. Those are the guys we want in there all the time. From that first slide, it was basically the good stuff. The free flow of positive emotion and positive thought patterns that's dynamic and very purposeful. Those are those guys. Okay? So now everybody open your eyes. It's your choice. It's your choice. Which guys do you want in your mind and in your subconscious? You can eradicate fear, unbelief, hopelessness, and despair today. And you can keep them out forever. You don't ever have to allow them in again. When a thought of fear or hope or despair comes into your mind, what are you going to do? Get rid of it. Don't dwell on it. Anytime that you dwell on the bad guys, you have already let defeat into your life. If you start fearing something's going to happen and you start dwelling on it and thinking, oh gosh, I'm so afraid that I'm going to lose my job. I'm so afraid that my daughter's going to get in a wreck. I'm so afraid that that car's going to break down. Don't even think about it. Instead, verbalize the opposite. And that's what we've been talking about here today. If you're worried about your daughter and she's driving to South Carolina in a car that you know is not a very good car, start speaking positive. My daughter is fine. Everything that she comes against, every obstacle, she's going to know what to do and when to do it. She is fine. She is okay. She is abundant right now. Boom. You've just refused and replaced. Remember those 2 words, refuse and replace. Now, we're going to go to the 4th one. Imagine the atmosphere of paralysis, okay? One more time. All close your eyes. Close your eyes. You see the 4 seedy guys, ugly, fear, the bad ones, all the ugly people, despair, hopelessness, doubt. And they're slinking in under the gate. But when they get in there, they get in that gate and they want to take control. So what do? They put all their weight against the gate and they're locking it, jamming it. It's jammed. It's done. Nobody else is coming in. Well, now we've got abundance and hope and all the good guys walking up the path, and they're all with their heads held high and they want to come in. They go up to the gate, it's jammed. It is locked down. So guess what they do? They wait around a little while thinking maybe that it will get unjammed. It doesn't. They leave. They're going to go find somewhere else to live. So guess what now? Fear, despair, hopelessness, and their other bedfellows, they've got free reign. So they bring in their camp chairs and their fire pit and everything, and they set up camp. And you know what? You start getting comfortable with them. you don't even know they're bad anymore. That's when you're in this paralysis. They're all in there. They're in your subconscious. They're deep down in there, but you don't know it because you've gotten comfy. So what do we do? What are we going to do? This is what can be done. When the mind is blocked, negative thoughts are locked down due to a jam, it's time to take action. That's what we're doing here today. We're switching it on. It's time to do something different. Change it up. Start thinking positively. Start reading the positive books. Start listening to those CDs that I gave you. Start changing it up. Why do we get the log jams? It's due to too much activity. Have you guys ever seen a river where all these logs and this brush is going down it, and there's a narrow spot in the river and it gets jammed? And it's like it's all piling up, and the water's just kind of trying to get around, and the water finds another route. But man, you got a jam there. Same thing happens in your houses. What happens when your sewer gets jammed? Do you guys like just sit there and go, oh, it'll fix itself? No, you don't. You call a plumber. Or you call your husband, honey, bring the snake. Right? You're going to do something. You are going to do something because you do not want that stinky septic right there. So you're going to take care of it. Guess what we do when we have a jam in ourselves, like we talked about with fear and all those guys blocking out the good guys? Guess what we do? First of all, when does it happen? It happens after a life event. Death of a child, divorce, loss of a job, broken dream. We shut down. We just shut it down. How many people do you know right now that are shut down from those types of things? I know quite a few. And they never get back up. They don't even know how. Because you know what happened? They had plans. They had plans for their life. They had plans for that child that died. Boom, loss of a child. Whew, what do I do? You know what we do? We start coping. Let's talk about the whole situation with the sewer system. We run and fix it. In ourselves, we do nothing. Normally we do nothing. We just start little coping mechanisms. To me, the word coping mechanism is really negative. Really negative. Coping means that now you're happy with less. You become a shrunken you. You had plans before. You had dreams. You wanted to go do this vacation with your child. You wanted to go do this with your husband. You're divorced now. So you just get smaller and smaller and you cope. And you just start coping and going, well, you know, I guess that dream's gone. That dream's gone. Why is that dream gone? It is not gone. You just gave up on it. We got to get up. We got to change things up. We got to start feeding that subconscious with positive. We can still live. If your husband dies or you get a divorce or your child dies, you're still alive. You got to go on. Am I right? We're not dead. We're still here. I got a divorce 15 years ago. I shut down for many years. Many years, and I thought, oh, can't do anything I wanted to do before. I'm a divorced woman now. When I got a hold of these principles, I realized every dream I ever had can still come true. And I'm doing it. You've got to change. You've got to start thinking right. You're still powerful and you're still valuable. Just because you had a loss in your life does not mean you have changed. Let's go on to the next one. Refuse and replace. These are the things we can do. We can do a short-term fix or a long-term fix. I suggest you learn both and you learn them fast. The short-term fix, refuse and replace. Todd touched on this. I'm going to give you a really life-like example, okay? This guy loses his job, and he's all sitting in his house, and he's all depressed, and it was a really good job. He'd had it for years, and he just lost it. It just got pulled, the rug got pulled out. We all have that kind of stuff happen. His neighbor comes over. Man, it's so bad you lost your job. You're never going to get another job like that. That's the stimulus. You've got a space right there to decide what you're going to do. What is your response going to be? Are you going to say, yeah, you're right, I'll never get another job like that? Are you going to agree with that neighbor? Or are you going to say, what? Why would I not get another job as good as that? I'm going to get a better job. You see? This is the difference. He refused what his neighbor said, and he replaced it with the positive. That's the short-term fix. You need to learn that. That's what you do when the little things come flying at you. You do the right thing right then and there. Long-term fix. This is way more important than learning the short-term fix because this is going to fix it long-term. Law of association. I'd spend a lot less time with that neighbor. I would spend a lot less time with that neighbor. That neighbor's not doing you good. Right, Todd? That neighbor is not good for you. Go find a new neighbor. Go find some new neighbor. Find a neighbor who's going to build you up. Find a neighbor who's going to be your buddy, who's going to say, man, you can go get a better job. You can do this. You can do this. Now, this is even more important. Become that neighbor to yourself. I'm going to teach you how to do that, okay? You and what you say to yourself is 10, even 20 times more valuable than what other people say to you. You are more powerful than what you say to yourself. So you better start learning talking to yourself. How many of you here, I want to show hands. How many of you talk to yourself? Good, I'm glad. Now, if you're not talking to yourself, you are losing out on one of the best ways to grow. Right, Todd?
I believe that, yeah.
You got to talk to yourself every day.
Oh, shit.
You got to talk to yourself because your neighbors are not going to talk to you enough. You're going to get a little good input from this neighbor and maybe a little good from that one. You're with yourself 24 hours a day. So you're going to talk to yourself. So write that down. You're going to start talking to yourself. Be your own positive neighbor. Positively affirm yourself. Say things to yourself every day, even on the hour. I am smart. I have a six-figure income. I am deserving of a six-figure income. And you list out a whole bunch more stuff. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's bunches more. Bunches more. And then when you imagine with emotion that it already is, that's the visualization Gabe was talking about this morning. He touched on visualization, but it's really super important. That in your daily meditations, we've talked a lot about that, daily meditation, daily affirmation, daily prayers, you need to sit there and you need to think about what it's going to feel like when you have your dreams. I want you to feel the emotion. I don't want you to just think about the actual physical getting there. Feel that emotion. I've been practicing this in the morning. I get up and I say, I will have this amount of income by the end of the year. And then I just think about the change it's going to make in my life. The physical emotion of joy, of confidence, of knowing that I achieved it, and knowing the changes it's going to make in my family. And it just feels so precious. So precious. This is the joy of that change. You're feeding. Now you're feeding the subconscious. You're feeding the subconscious. So it's like it's going deep down inside you. Follow the child's lead. How many of you have a niece or a nephew or a little one or grandchild that you see a lot and they're playing? All right, guys, learn from that child. The faith of a small child and the imagination capacity of a small child is absolutely amazing. When that little child is playing, let's think of the little boy, the little girl. The little boys play fireman, the little girls play princess. I don't know what it is with princess and fireman, but they do it. Think about what they do when they play. The little girl puts on her dress that her mommy got her, and her little princess shoes and her little crown. And what does she start doing? I'm a little princess. And she starts acting it out. It's like they go into this instantaneous play acting where all the emotion of being the princess is in there. They really believe they're a princess. For that little time that they're play acting, they actually believe they are a princess. Nothing's going to tell them they're not. Is that not cool? That's the faith of a little child. Think about that as an adult. You got to do that. Get out of your respectable mode. Our respectable mode is, well, I can't play act in the mirror. Right? Sounds kind of corny. Yes, you can. That's what we're talking about today. Affirmation. You're affirming yourself. You're actually changing the way you think by what you play act. So get up in the morning and start talking about the things that you want in life and feel it, like the little girl feels the way she's a princess. Learn from the little children. Dream in a crazy big way. If you guys today don't extend your dreams, then you haven't been listening. I want big dreams to come out of this room today. You may already have some. Make them bigger. Make them bigger. Don't settle for less. Make those dreams huge. Create your vision statement from the big dream. You heard Justin get up here and share his vision statement. Create yours. Create it from the big dream. Think about the little girl and start play acting like you want to be the person that you're dreaming to be. Start changing your world by doing the daily affirmations. Use your daily positive self-affirmations, and by doing that, you're play acting in the adult form. Examples. I am incredibly successful in my field. I am going to meet people today that will make a difference in the pursuit of my goals. Speak it with faith that you're going to meet somebody that day. These appointments that we have, like me meeting Todd, that was something that was ordained to happen, so this could start happening and these things could come about. If you don't believe you're going to meet people that are going to make a difference in your life, nothing's going to change. It's all about relationships. I am going to make a big sale today. Perhaps you're in sales. Not all of us are here in sales, but you may be. You may be. Get up in the morning and say, I'm going to make a big sale today, and do it with emotion. Now, what if you get up and you just say, I'm going to make a big sale today? What did my subconscious pick up from that? You don't know, right? I didn't feed it anything. But if I say, I'm going to make a big sale today, my subconscious went, whoop, we got to get to work. And then there's a cycle that happens. There's this amazing cycle that happens when you say it with emotion and you affirm it daily, daily, daily. It goes down into the subconscious. The subconscious creates a burning desire. This is all just bedrock principle. This really works. Now you've got this burning desire for the thing you just said. So now the subconscious creates this inspiration. It comes back up and guides you to do the things and make the steps you need to do to change, to get what you stated. Wow! It's a cycle. It's a cycle. All right, very good. I'm going to go on to the next one. Cause and effect, stimulus and response. We've already talked a lot about this today, but you know what? This is all about catching it. We want to catch it. The more you hear something, the more you catch it. Without a cause, men have shallow dreams, unfulfilled desires, and only live out a portion of their potential. Your cause, your purpose and destiny should be on the tip of your tongue. I should be able to walk up to you, Linda, and go, what's your cause? You got it. It comes right out. Right? If that happens, you're going to get it. If you can tell me the minute I walk up to you what it is, you're going to get it. If you have to think about it, you're probably not feeding the subconscious enough. So we need to work on that. We need to work on having it on the tip of our tongue. Life purpose changes the game. It changes your health. It changes your relationships. It changes your finances. And it even changes your death date. How many of you believe that? You change the day you die. Ooh, Steve believes me. You got a big smile. Most of you in here believe that. There's people out there in the world that believe that your death date is premature. I do not believe that. I believe we decide when we die. I'm going to give you 3 examples. These examples are examples in my family that to the T got what they asked for. 2 uncles. I had 2 uncles growing up. One of them, every time I was in his presence, he would bring it up. He'd say, you know, I don't think I'm going to live too much past 70. I got so sick of hearing that. I was like, why does he always say 70? I was a little kid and I thought it was weird. He's always like, oh, I'm just going to probably die when I'm 70. And I'm like, what is this with him? Guess when he died? 70 years old. He gave his body permission to give up at 70 years old, and he wasn't even sick. Weird, but real. Had another uncle, 75 is when he died. He said the same thing. He said it in a different way. He had a little different life philosophy. His way of saying it was, I'll have all my goals tucked in. They'll be done by the time I'm 75. And he said that his whole life. All my goals will be done by the time I'm 75. Guess when he died? 75, right on the year. Do you think those two guys had a little bit to do with setting their death date? Absolutely. Now I'm going to tell you a really poignant story, and this one makes me tear up. So, I lost my mom and dad this year, and my dad was 93, my mom was 97. Beautiful people. My dad suffered severely the last 10 years with arthritis, lots of pain. He had a hernia that kept giving him problems. His body was worn out. He worked as a coal miner to provide for the family. And he was a big shaft in the mine twice over the period of 30, 40 years he worked in the mine. Fell down on his head, broke his back twice. This guy had every injury in the book. He had emphysema from working in the mines and smoking. I mean, he shouldn't have lived. He basically vowed to my mom when he retired, pretty much, his life was done. He fulfilled the things he wanted to do, but he vowed to my mom. He said, Edith, he said, I will never leave you. He says, I will never leave you alone. He died within the same 30 days. And you know what? The last 10 years, it was all about purpose and destiny. That's all that he lived on. His purpose, she was legally blind, and she didn't want to go into an old age home. She was scared to death of it. And so he purposed in his heart to stay alive and be with her until the day she died, and they died together. He changed his death date. So, I mean, how strong is this training we're doing today? This training is strong. You change it all by having a purpose. If you don't have a strong purpose today, go get one. Go get one. It changes the game. It changes your health. 2 things my dad did. Because he knew that he had to live to take care of my mom, he stopped smoking. Because he wanted to elongate his life. He made a health change that was right in line with wanting to stay alive for her. He also started eating better. Because he knew he had to last another 20 years when he made that vow. Do you see how having this purpose statement, it changes the game, guys. It changes the game. It changes everything. I'm going to skip that one because I'm running out of time. But I want to talk about finding your purpose. Without a vision, my people perish. Okay. The 2 guys, the 70-year-old and the 75-year-old, they perished. They didn't have a vision. And they spoke negative things their whole life about when they were going to die. Finding your purpose and creating a vision statement is your lifeline to every other principle. Let's talk a little bit about life philosophy. This is a little bit different than what we've been talking about today. Life philosophy is your belief system. It's what you believe to be important in life. And these are some examples of some life philosophies. Many of these I don't adhere to. These are very negative life philosophies. Some of them are very positive. But these are the philosophies of men and women through the ages. This is what they live by. Number 1, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. I don't adhere to that one. I don't go after vengeance with people. I forgive them. But some people do that. That's what they live by. It's okay to steal, just don't get caught. It's a life philosophy. Not a good one, but it's a life philosophy. Life is short and then you die. That's not mine. Not mine. Procrastination, no. I just wait till the last minute before I will be to do things so I will be wiser when it's time to accomplish my task. A lot of people, that's their life philosophy. It's silly, but it's a life philosophy. A penny saved is a penny earned. It's a good one, actually. It's a very good one. When your well dries up, dig another well. It's kind of my philosophy. It's like if I fail, go dig another well. Got to keep going. And this one's my favorite. Obstacles in life are the mortar that makes us strong. Love that one. Write down your life philosophy. That's one of the things we're going to be doing in the breakout session. I don't expect you to get it perfect, but we're going to work on it today in the next segment. What is your life philosophy? I'm going to give you some chances to write it down. What is your dream income? Now, guys, I want you to really get creative imagination on this one, okay? This will be something you're going to be asked to talk about in our breakouts. What is your dream income? Income is not the only meter of a man or a woman, but it sure rates up there with oxygen. That's Zig Ziglar. So it doesn't really tell me who you are inside, the fact you make a lot of money. But you know what? It is really important. You've got to take care of your family. You have got to take care of yourself. And if you die with a debt load, you are a disgrace. So it's pretty important. It's pretty important. Don't take it for granted. Keep it before your face and fight for it. Now, let me just talk to you about when you go to fill out your paperwork back there and you go to write down what your projected dream income is, or your dream income. This is not your projected income of going to your job or doing your sales venture or whatever you do this year. That's not what that is. That's not what your 1099 is going to say right now, or your W-2. Your dream income is the income that's going to allow you to have your dream, to create your destiny and purpose in life, the thing you were born for. Totally different than your projected income. I want you to write down your dream income, not your projected, okay? And then I'm going to read you my vision statement just to close. Just, you know, in closing, I want to just go over one more thing, and that is when you guys neglect, or when I neglect, or anyone in the world neglects to take this stuff seriously, it robs us. It's just like a thief coming in and stealing everything while you're sleeping. It really is. It's like somebody came in and just emptied your house. Don't neglect. This stuff's important. The things you do every day to make money and take care of your family and feed your kids and all of that, those are great. They're good. This is key. Don't neglect this. Don't let this be robbed from you. Don't let the life that you could have, the dreams that you could have, and the purpose and destiny that your God-given purpose and destiny on earth, don't let it run away from you because of neglect, of just not doing it. I'm going to read you my purpose statement. I've been working on this for the last couple of months. And just as Justin read you his, I'm going to read you mine. And I wanted to inspire you. I'm not reading it to you to impress you. That's not what it's all about. I just want you to hear what the vision statement is, what it's all about. And you need to start thinking about how you're going to write yours down as you listen to this. And this is mine. I will definitely see great length of life, a minimum of 100 years, in order that I can perpetuate a movement that inspires and forever changes the lives of hundreds of thousands. I will earn $500,000 or more every year for the remainder of my life to allow me to fully accomplish my specific purpose as a motivator, connector, and life coach through social media, conferences, new era training facilities, and mentoring others in the area of wealth generation through network marketing. I will move a total of $12 million or more per year through my marketing program with the purpose of changing lives physically, nutritionally, mentally, and spiritually. I will lead by example and cause many in my sphere of influence to expand, enlarge, and fulfill their highest and wildest dreams.